Hello and welcome to my channel, Investing in the Rockies. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Shroom Boom. That's right, you heard me correctly, the Shroom Boom, magic mushrooms. Over the last couple of weeks, certain shroom stocks have absolutely took off. They have skyrocketed and I believe they're only going to get bigger. I'm actually going to discuss a few companies that I actually think are going to skyrocket over the next year. We're going to go into my Wealthsimple trade account and we're going to actually purchase these stocks right before your very eyes. First though, let's talk a wee bit about the Shroom Boom and why it's happening. The Shroom Boom is basically companies that are involved with medical use of magic mushrooms or psilocybin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Over the last 5 years, countless studies have been happening to prove that the active ingredient in magic mushrooms is helping to cure things such as depression and alcohol addiction. There are certain companies out there that are dedicated to this research that I believe are going to blow up. 3 reasons why the Shroom Boom's happening: changing laws, changing science, and changing consumer attitudes. Magic mushrooms have widely been regarded as a bad drug or something that you're going to take and it's going to be bad and it's been illegal, and for a long time governments didn't allow any sort of medical research or any research at all in that matter to be done on these certain drugs. But that's all starting to change. Many more people are now starting to realise the benefits that these drugs have. And if we compare this to the cannabis boom that happened, a lot of people for many years thought smoking cannabis was bad for you, it was going to kill you, whatever.
Damn, I'm high as hell. I'm stuck. Wow, now I'm having a panic attack. I can't even feel my heartbeat. I'm about to die.
All these negative attitudes towards cannabis for a long time. But that switch finally turned. Now, here in Canada, there's cannabis stores absolutely everywhere. CBD is used to be treated things like Parkinson's and seizures. It's even being used in some cancer treatments, among many other things. People are starting to realise and see the beneficial side to these types of drugs. Over the past 5 years, academic research has emerged to show that the active ingredient inside magic mushrooms can be helped to cure such things as depression, anorexia, ADHD, and alcohol addiction. As time goes on, I believe more and more research is going to be done into these drugs, and people are really going to start to realise the qualities that these drugs possess. I don't know about you, but I don't want to miss out on the Shroom Boom, and that's why I'm going to be investing in a few companies today. I just want to quickly discuss the change in laws to these drugs. Recently, Health Canada announced that they're going to revise the Special Access Programme. This basically means people that are dying are actually going to be given access to these drugs to help them with that process. Laws are starting to become less and less strict, and therefore companies are going to now be able to have room to grow. Laws are actually changing in the US too, specifically on election day this year. The states of Washington, DC and Oregon passed measures which decriminalise/legalise psilocybin, or the active ingredient in magic mushrooms. I believe this is just the beginning, and more laws are going to be passed, and eventually I honestly do believe, just like you're able to go into a shop and buy cannabis, that in I don't know how long it'll take, it might take 5 or 10 years, I'm not sure on that, but I do believe that eventually you're going to be able to walk into a shop and buy magic mushrooms. Countless studies have been showing that it's one of the safest drugs you can possibly take. You can't OD on it, you can't die on it. And as I was talking about, if they're used in the correct way, they can actually cure things such as depression, alcohol addiction, ADHD, etc. So I think for now they're going to focus a lot on the medical aspects of things, but then eventually you're maybe going to be able to use it recreationally, completely legally, all over the States, all over Canada, and then maybe eventually into Europe. I know back home in Ireland they still haven't legalised weed, but again I think that's going to be happening in Ireland. It's just going to take a matter of time. So yes, I think these stocks really are going to explode, and I'm going to talk about 3 different companies, and I'm going to purchase 2 different companies. So let's just dive into my Wealthsimple trade account and we'll look at the companies that I'm going to be purchasing today. Just before we start talking about the companies that I'm going to be buying in terms of magic mushrooms, I just want to quickly point out all the people that have signed up to Wealthsimple Trade using my link in the description. If you haven't signed up to Wealthsimple Trade and you're thinking about it, I'd highly recommend clicking the link in the description that I'm going to leave below. If you sign up using this link, once you deposit $100, you'll get a free $10 to work with, and I'll get a free $10 to work with too. So if you're thinking about it, you may as well click the link and use it. Plus, you're going to get a shout out on this YouTube channel if you do use my link. So far, all these people have clicked the link and have signed up to Well Simple Trade. They just haven't deposited their $100 yet. So all these guys are, I'm going to butcher some of these names, so apologies in advance. Arathi, Audrey, Bakshish, Aravind, Kimberly, Christopher, and Nikki. Thanks for clicking the link. Make sure you deposit your $100, start your investing journey, and you'll receive a free $10. Shout out to all these people who have actually clicked the link, signed up, and deposited $100. Brittany is the latest one since my last episode, so just thanks very much, Brittany. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the $10. Really appreciate everyone for clicking the link. Thanks very much. The link's in the description below. Use it if you haven't already signed up to Well Simple Trade. Now, let's talk about the shroom stocks that I'm going to be buying. So first up is Numinous. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Numinous Wellness Incorporation. The stock is currently trading for just $1.79, so it's pretty much a penny stock. But as you can see, over the last month, it has skyrocketed. It has went up 306%. So if you bought this stock a month ago, you would have trebled your money. Again, as I was saying earlier, Health Canada has recently announced plans to allow people to start using magic mushrooms when they're dying. They're also allowing scientists to do research into the active ingredients in magic mushrooms. And this is part of the reason why this stock skyrocketed. As more laws around magic mushrooms begin to fall, that's going to lead to two things: legalization and commercialization of magic mushrooms. I'd just like to say, don't under any circumstances just go pour all your life savings in to ban these companies. This really is still a speculation stock. I do believe it's going to blow up, but it's still speculative. I don't want to tell people to pour in their life savings and then have to go bust. So just be cautious. Don't invest everything you have in these companies. But I really do believe it's worth a punt. I believe it's worth a go. I can see these companies booming. It happened in the cannabis industry. I think it's going to happen in the magic mushroom industry. The Shroom Boom. So let's purchase some of this stock. I'm thinking I'm going to put about $150 into this stock roughly. So if we hit buy, so I'm going to buy 83 stocks of Numi, which sounds crazy. I don't think I've bought 83 of any stock ever in my life. It's because this stock is valued at a really low price. So continue. So the market's closed right now, but that's my order in. So when the market reopens again tomorrow, I'll have purchased 83 stocks on Numni Wellness. Boom, and there it is, 83 shares purchased. Now let's talk about the second company that I'm going to be buying today. So the second company that I'm going to be buying today is Cybin, which are located, their headquarters are in Toronto, Canada. Again, as you can see, in the past month, this is up 190%. It's a really cheap stock, and I'm going to get in at this price and hope that the Shroom Boom happens in 2021 and this stock just continues to grow. So we're going to buy whatever $150 worth gets you. So I can buy 64 stocks in this company. The third company that I really quickly want to mention is Mind Medicine. This is another stock company that is based around magic mushrooms. It's seen massive growth in the last couple of weeks, and I think again it's potentially going to boom in the Shroom Boom, so get on it. This channel is called Invest in the Rockies because I make videos basically on everything to do with stocks, personal finance, and Rocky Mountain vlogs. I'm on a journey to financial freedom, so if you want to see this journey or pick up some tips for yourself, make sure you do me a big favor and support the channel by smashing that like button and hitting subscribe. As I was saying, I make pretty cool vlogs as well of my life here in the Rocky Mountains, so if you want to check them videos out too, you can. Hope everyone enjoyed today's video on the Shroom Boom and the reasons why I think companies that are involved in magic mushrooms potentially could blow up. Again, don't be throwing all your life savings into these companies, but I do really think it's worth a punt, and if you've got some extra cash lying about, you may as well have a go with it. That's it for today's video, folks. Hope you all enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy.